So we'll look at the brachial plexus in the axillary region. So to do that, usually you want to abduct the arm and preferably external rotate if possible. So I'll take a linear high frequency probe and put it in the axillary region. And so what we'll see here when we do that is we'll see the musculocutaneous. The musculocutaneous nerve usually sits in coracobrachialis muscle in the axillary region. We'll also see major vascular structures. So if you can't see anything else, you'll always see the axillary artery. And then around the axillary artery is going to be the branches of the brachial plexus. So right now we're seeing the median nerve. It usually sits on top of the axillary artery. Okay, and then we'll often see other branches as well. So here we see the ulnar nerve here. Okay, and then below the axillary artery will be the radial nerve. We can kind of scan and to be very sure of like those structures as we scan down the arm. So as we scan down the arm, I'm going to tilt the tail of the probe slightly towards the elbow, okay, and I'll scan downwards. And what you can see is there's a nerve structure that starts to dive deep, okay, and that's the radial nerve. If I scan back up, it'll go to sit below the axillary artery. It also sits on top of this structure, which is the conjoint tendon. So if you see the conjoint tendon in the picture, you'll know that the radial nerve sits above that. So we'll scan for the other branches of the brachial plexus. So I'm just going to scan downwards now again. And so what we see here is that the axillary artery will track with the median nerve, okay? And it'll do that to almost the elbow. So if you see a nerve-like structure that tracks with the axillary artery, that's the median nerve. So we're following it all the way down to almost the elbow, and then they'll split there. Okay. So I'm just going to trace it back up. Okay. We'll go back into the axillary region. Okay. So then we'll follow the ulnar nerve down. Okay. So we scan down. So the ulnar nerve will deviate from the artery and then go off on its own subcutaneous course. Okay. And it'll track towards the elbow and the medial epicondyle. So we're just seeing the ulnar nerve here. Okay. We're just scanning down, and there it's tracking towards the medial epicondyle and going into the cubital tunnel. Sometimes it's a little harder to follow it through the cubital tunnel. We'll follow the course of the musculocutaneous next. So again, it's localized in coracobrachialis. As we scan down, we'll see it track in a fascial plane and start to innervate muscles. So here you can see it innervating biceps here. Okay. You'll see again the nerves, or the intermuscular nerves, running these hyperechoic fascial planes. Okay. And as we scan further down, we'll see it go innervate into brachialis down here. And usually we lose it at this point. It's sometimes difficult to follow it because it's branched quite significantly, innervating these big major muscles of the brachialis and biceps. So here's another intermuscular branch going into brachialis. Eventually it'll go on to form the lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, or the lateral antebrachial cutaneous nerve.